changed it, I think I know what it would do. So, with it making that noise, the plan is to pull the 427 out and go through it. You know, that motor sat since 1978, and the camshaft that was in it went flat on me, and I don't know if some of the metal shavings from that took out some of the rod bearings or not. You know, I'm sure that, you know, I cleaned it out real good, the engine, but I didn't pull the pan, and but I'm, you know, ran a lot of solvent through the motor with it not running, and you know, I had it to where that pan was draining real clean and everything like that, and it really didn't have a whole lot of metal shavings in it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It sounds like something's, like the rod bearings need to be checked, make sure that they got the right clearance. Now, that engine has 13-to-1 compression pistons in it, which, with what the kind of gas we have nowadays, have no business being in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the 427 out. I'm saving it. It's not for sale. If I ever sell the car, it'll sell with the car. But I'm not, you know, I'm going to keep this engine with the car. I've got it to where everything works with the 427. You know, the alternator, the power steering pump, and the headers, the exhaust, everything. You know, so it'll be easy to put back in when the time comes. But in the meantime, I want to pull it out and take my time and go through it, get the right kind of pistons for it, maybe 10.5-to-1 compression, and, you know, investigate what's going on with that bottom end before it slings a rod, because if it slings a rod, it'll take out the block. And I can tell by the sound of it that, I don't know, I just don't trust what that sound is. It may not be much, but, and, you know, I was just driving it kind of regular on the way home. I wasn't hot dogging it or anything like that. And it started sounding suspicious to me the more I drove it. So, like I said, I think it just sat too long without ever being started. And the thing is now, like I said, I want to pull it out and put a more drivable engine in it. I've got this 350 that's a high-performance rebuild that a machine shop rebuilt locally, and the customer never picked it up. It had been there for nearly 2 years. But it supposedly has a hot cam in it and flat top pistons. It's bored 40 over. And it's the pre-1985 engine. It's got a 2-piece rear main seal. So I will put that in this car for temporary. And these Corvette valve covers I've had for a long time, they actually came on my 57 Chevy convertible whenever I first bought it. And it'll be neat to use those again. That's what came on this car originally. If it was a small block, those are the straight across hold ones. So that's the next big thing. And you know, with flat top pistons, it'll have a more usable compression. And you know, this is not like a $2,000 hot rod where I need that big fast motor in there so I can go street racing or whatever it is. You know, I mean, I'm past those days. It'd be better, maybe I sound like I'm getting old, but it will be better to have just kind of a engine with a mild cam in it, and you know, have it more as a usable car, because you know, I plan on driving this car, and I like it a whole lot, and I'm hoping that I put, you know, nearly 10,000 miles a year on it. Well, I'm not doing that with that 427 in there, even if it was in perfect shape. But like I said, it's still a very good engine, and I bet there's not much wrong with it at all. But you know, I just don't want to do too much investigating on it. There's no point, because in my opinion, the 10.5 or the 13-to-1 compression pistons need to come out anyway. So like I said, I've got everything to make it work in the car. I've enjoyed driving it around. It's got an incredible amount of power. I imagine that 350 is going to have plenty of power too. all the power that I want to use in a car like this. So that's the next step. Get that 350 in there. Stay tuned for some startup videos on that. And it'll be interesting to hear what the camshaft sounds like in it. Is it real radical or what, you know. I like the little surprises in life like that. I went to that machine shop and they just happened, I was looking at buying a rebuilt short block and putting some aluminum heads on it and things like that, but they had that motor sitting there ready to go that a customer didn't pick up. And I know the people that own this machine shop, and I thought it'd be a good idea just to go ahead and buy an engine that they already had, and it was pretty well all put together like that, so that'll save me a lot of time. But you know, my son-in-law lives in Wyoming, my daughter and son-in-law, 1,300 miles away. And I'd really like to build this thing to where I could drive it all the way up there and back, you know. It is such a blast to drive, and that engine will definitely make it more drivable. And I will save the 427 for it, and I'll still put my 427 hood on it. And when people ask me, does that thing have a 427? Yeah, it's got a 427 at home in the garage. But anyway, thanks for watching.